Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we are tackling something that I think every single person listening has felt.
Oh, for sure.
Usually happens at like 3 in the morning.
Yep. The 3 a.m. brain.
Exactly. You're staring at the ceiling, the house is quiet, and your brain is just replaying this highlight reel of your own worst decisions. You're wondering, why did I say that? Why did I eat that? Why did I procrastinate on that project until it was literally on fire?
Right.
We are talking about the universal art of self-sabotage.
It is the great human frustration, isn't it? I mean, that maddening gap between what we say we want, health, love, success, and what we actually do.
Which is often the exact opposite.
The exact opposite.
It feels like there are two people living inside my head. One wants to, run a marathon and write a novel, and the other one wants to eat nachos and hide under a blanket.
And we know which one usually wins.
Yeah, exactly. So to help us figure out which one is actually driving the bus, we are diving deep into The Mountain Is You by Brianna Wiest.
A great choice for this topic.
Now, I have to be honest with you right off the bat. When I first saw this title, The Mountain Is You, I rolled my eyes a little bit.
You're not alone, I get it.
It sounds like something you'd see on a motivational poster, in a high school guidance counselor's office. It's a bit of a cliche, isn't it?
It definitely risks sounding like a cliche. We love mountain metaphors. We talk about climbing the corporate ladder, surmounting obstacles.
Getting over the hump.
Exactly. But Weiss does something really interesting here. She takes that kind of tired metaphor and flips it on its head, immediately.
How so?
Well, usually when we talk about the mountain, we're talking about external things.
Right. My mountain is my debt. My mountain is my difficult boss. My mountain is the fact that I don't have enough time. It's the thing standing between me and my happiness.
Precisely. We view the mountain as the antagonist in our story. But Weist argues that the mountain is not the external challenge. The mountain is you.
Yeah.
It is the block within you. It is the internal resistance, the old patterns, the conflicting needs that keep you stuck.
So the mountain isn't something you conquer to get to the life you want.
No. The mountain is the thing you have to master to become the person who can live that life.
Okay, I want to push back on this a little bit.
Please do.
Because saying the mountain is you, it's a catchy title, sure, but it also sounds a bit like victim blaming, doesn't it? I mean, if someone is dealing with systemic issues or a toxic work environment or a health crisis, isn't it a bit harsh to look at them and say, hey, the problem isn't the world, the problem is you?
That is such a crucial distinction to make, and I'm glad you brought that up because she isn't saying external obstacles don't exist.
Right.
She's not saying the world is fair or that bad things don't happen to good people. That's not the point at all.
Okay, so where's the line?
The line is at the reaction. The mountain isn't the bad thing that happened to you.
Okay.
The mountain is the internal block that prevents you from navigating that bad thing. It's the gap between, I know I should leave this toxic boss, and actually typing the resignation letter.
Okay, it's the gap between knowing and doing.
Yes. It's the gap between, I know I need to save money, and, impulsively buying things you don't need to feel better for a second.
So it's not about controlling the environment, it's about the paralysis in the environment.
Precisely. It's that baffling moment where you know the solution, you have the roadmap, and you still steer the car into the ditch. That's the you part.
That's the sabotage.
That's the sabotage. And
Yeah.
usually that sabotage hits a peak at what we call rock bottom.
Ah, rock bottom, the movie moment.
Right.
Sitting on the curb in the rain, everything's gone wrong.
That's the Hollywood version. But Weist redefines rock bottom in a way that I found really profound. She says rock bottom isn't just a bad day. It's not about the severity of the events.
Really?
Yeah. You can lose everything and still not be at rock bottom if you aren't ready to change. Rock bottom is the moment when you realize, I never want to feel this way again.
That's interesting. So rock bottom is an internal decision, not an external disaster.
Exactly. It's the moment of resolution. It's when the pain of staying the same finally outweighs the pain of change.
Wow.
It's the foundation upon which you build everything else because you have finally stopped digging.
That's a powerful image. You stop digging. So our mission today is to figure out why we are digging in the first place. Why do we self-sabotage? Because, frankly, it feels insane.
It does.
If I want to be happy, why would I ruin my own happiness?
Well, this is where we have to do some major reframing. The most common myth about self-sabotage is that it comes from a place of self-hatred.
Or laziness or stupidity.
Right. We tell ourselves, I ate the cake because I have no willpower. Or I didn't apply for the job because I'm lazy.
I have definitely said both of those things to myself, usually followed by, get it together, you idiot.
Right. We try to shame ourselves into changing. But Wiest argues, and this is backed by a lot of psychological research, that self-sabotage is actually a maladaptive coping mechanism.
Okay, that's a mouthful of therapy speak. Maladaptive coping mechanism. Break that down for us.
Okay, think of it like this. Imagine you burnt your hand on a stove when you were 5 years old.
Okay, ouch.
Your brain learned a very valuable lesson. Stoves are dangerous, don't touch. That is an adaptive mechanism. It keeps you safe. It's a good rule.
Right? Good survival instinct.
But now, imagine you're 30 years old. You're a professional chef. But every time you walk into the kitchen to cook a meal, that 5-year-old part of your brain screams, danger, and makes you run out of the room.
Okay, now it's a problem. Now I can't do my job.
Right. The mechanism, the fear of the stove, hasn't changed. But the context has. It is now maladaptive.
So it's a good solution to a problem I don't have anymore.
Exactly. It's a solution that is costing you more than it's saving you.
So self-sabotage is basically running outdated software.
100%. It's your brain trying to protect you using a Mac from 1995. And here's the key insight. You are not hurting yourself on purpose. You are trying to protect yourself. It is a conflict between a conscious desire like, I want to be a chef, and an unconscious need like, I need to stay away from the hot stove to be safe.
And the subconscious usually wins.
It usually wins because its job is survival.
That actually makes me feel a little better. It's not that I'm broken, it's that I'm conflicted.
Yes.
My brain is trying to keep me safe. It's just doing a terrible job of understanding what safe means in the modern world.
Exactly. It's intelligent, it's just outdated. The book says a mountain is formed when two tectonic plates slam against each other.
Right.
In this metaphor, one plate is your conscious desire for growth, and the other plate is your unconscious need for safety. That collision pushes up the mountain.
That makes so much sense. So let's look at the anatomy of this mountain. What are these plates made of? One concept the book brings up, which I found fascinating, is the upper limit problem.
From Gay Hendricks.
This comes from Gay Hendricks, right?
Yes, Wiest references his work heavily here. The upper limit is essentially your tolerance for happiness.
Wait, hold on. Tolerance for happiness.
Yeah.
I need you to pause there because that sounds like standard self-help fluff.
I know it does.
I can understand having a tolerance for pain or stress, but you're telling me that if I wake up tomorrow, win the lottery, and fall in love, my brain is going to reject it, that I have a happiness ceiling. That feels counter-evolutionary. I mean, ideally, wouldn't we want to be as happy as possible?
You would think so, but evolution doesn't care about your happiness. Evolution cares about your survival.
Okay.
And to your primitive brain, the amygdala, the basal ganglia survival, is predicated on one thing: prediction.
Okay, prediction.
Your brain is essentially a prediction engine. It's constantly mapping your environment to ensure the next minute looks roughly like the last minute. We call this homeostasis.
Like a thermostat.
Think of it like a thermostat in your house.
Okay, I'm with you. Thermostat set to 72 degrees.
Right. If your internal thermostat for success or love is set to, let's say, a 6 out of 10, and suddenly something amazing happens, you get that promotion, or you have an incredibly romantic weekend, your temperature spikes to a 9.
And consciously, I'm celebrating. I'm thinking, finally, I've arrived.
Consciously, yes, but your subconscious thermostat detects a prediction error. It says, alert, we are at a 9. This is uncharted territory. We don't know the predators here. We don't know the risks.
So it sees joy as danger.
It registers that joy not as pleasure, but as uncertainty. And to the brain, uncertainty is danger. So the cooling system kicks on.
And the cooling system is the self-sabotage.
Exactly. This is Gay Hendricks' upper limit. The cooling system kicks in to bring you back down to your familiar 6. You pick a fight with your spouse over a dirty dish.
Oh, wow.
You get a migraine, you suddenly feel a wave of imposter syndrome and procrastinate on the very work that got you the promotion. You aren't crazy.
Right.
Your thermostat is just trying to get you back to the safe zone.
That is wildly frustrating. We are wired for comfort, not happiness. And comfort just means what I've known before, even if before was miserable.
Precisely. Anything unfamiliar, even if it's good, registers as a threat to the primitive brain. This is why people self-sabotage right when things are going well.
It's not because they don't deserve it.
No, it's because they haven't expanded their capacity to feel good yet. They haven't reset the thermostat.
That explains so much. It explains why we snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. But let's get specific here.
Yeah.
Because self-sabotage is a broad term. what does this actually look like in daily life? The book lists some very specific manifestations, and I want to run through these because I have a feeling our listeners, and let's be honest,
Me.
are going to recognize themselves.
Let's do it. It's good to name the ghosts.
First one, resistance. Now, this isn't just, I don't want to do the dishes.
No. Resistance in this context is feeling tense, angry, or just stuck when you are trying to do something you actually want to do.
So it's related to your goals.
Exactly. You sit down to work on your passion project, the novel, the business plan, and suddenly you feel like you're walking through mud. You might even feel physically ill.
It's almost a physical repulsion. I've felt this. I sit down to write, and suddenly I have to clean the entire house.
That's it. Wiest points out that resistance is a sign you are pushing against your comfort zone. It's actually a good sign, usually.
A good sign. How?
It means you're tapping into a part of yourself that wants to thrive, not just survive, and the unfamiliarity is daunting. Resistance is your brain's way of applying the brakes to make sure it's safe to proceed.
So it's not a stop sign.
It's a check engine light.
Okay, next one. This one hit home for me in a big way. Uprooting.
Ah, yes, the fresh start addiction.
The geographic cure.
That's it.
Guilty. If I just move to a new city, everything will be different. If I just get a new job, I'll finally be happy. I spent my 20s thinking that if I just changed the scenery, the plot of the movie would change.
It is so seductive because it mimics the aesthetics of change without requiring the internal mechanics of change. Wiest calls this the addiction to the sprouting phase.
The sprouting phase. Explain that metaphor.
Think about a plant. When a seed first sprouts, it's exciting, it's new, it's fragile. And most importantly, and this is the key, it has no expectations placed on it.
Nobody expects a sprout to bear fruit.
Exactly. When you are the new guy in town, or you just started a new job, or you're in the first month of a relationship, you are safe.
You're just potential.
You are potential energy. You haven't been tested. You haven't had to withstand a storm yet. It's safe to be a beginner.
So uprooting is a way to stay in that potential state forever.
Yes. It protects you from the blossoming phase. Because to blossom, you have to stay put. You have to endure the boredom. You have to endure the conflict. You have to let people really know you, flaws and all.
And that's terrifying.
It is terrifying to the ego. So, right when things get real, right when the honeymoon phase ends.
We check Zillow.
We check Zillow. We look for a new job. We swipe right on a new person. We hit the reset button to get that dopamine hit of newness and avoid the grit of depth.
Ouch. That is deeply relatable. Okay, moving on before I feel too attacked.
All right.
Perfectionism. Now, I used to wear this as a badge of honor in job interviews.
Yeah.
Oh, my biggest weakness. I'm just such a perfectionist.
Great. The classic.
But the book just rips that apart.
It really does. And I think we need to be clear here. Perfectionism is not the same as high standards.
Okay.
High standards mean you want to do good work. Perfectionism means you are terrified of being seen doing bad work. Wiest defines perfectionism not as a quest for quality, but as a fear of vulnerability.
So it's a shield.
It's a massive shield. If it isn't perfect, it can't be budged. If it isn't perfect, it can't be rejected.
Which means it never gets done.
So perfectionism becomes the ultimate procrastination tool. It prevents you from showing up.
And I can't do it perfectly, I won't do it at all, which means you never do it.
Correct. It's a defense mechanism. It's safer to have a perfect idea in your head, which no one can criticize, than an imperfect reality in the world.
So the perfectionist is actually deeply insecure.
Deeply insecure about their own ability to handle criticism.
And then there's the cousin of perfectionism, disorganization, which seems like the opposite.
Right, you'd think so.
Perfectionists are neat, disorganized people are messy, but apparently they serve a similar function.
They do. Think about it. If your desk is a mess, if you can't find your bills, if your life is chaotic, you have a built-in excuse for not starting your
I
work.
can't write my novel, I have to clean the garage first.
Exactly. Disorganization creates a constant state of getting ready to work without ever actually working.
It creates chaos to avoid the uneasy feeling of being ready. Because if I'm ready, I have no excuse. If the desk is clean and the coffee is poured and the computer is on, it's just me and the blank page.
And that is terrifying.
Yeah.
So chaos is a buffer. It keeps you occupied with triviality, so you don't have to face the big things. And closely related to that is busyness.
Oh, the glory of being busy. I'm so swamped. We wear it like a badge of honor.
It's a status symbol, but being busy is often a method of running from oneself.
How so?
If you are constantly moving, constantly checking emails, constantly running errands, you never have to sit alone with your thoughts.
You never have to face the quiet.
Right. And Wiest says that if you are constantly busy, you are likely avoiding a truth about your life that would surface if you slowed down.
That is profound. Busyness is a numbing agent. It's like if I stop moving, the feelings will catch up to me.
Exactly. And the last one I want to touch on is judging others. This one is sneaky because it feels like it's about them.
Right. Look at that guy. He's so arrogant with his money. We think we're just being observant.
Yeah, or making a valid critique. But Wiest argues that judging success in others creates a subconscious belief that you will be disliked if you become successful.
Wait, unpack that logic.
Okay, so if you look at a wealthy person and say, oh, they must be greedy and shallow, you are teaching your subconscious mind a rule. Wealth equals greedy and shallow.
Okay.
Now, your conscious mind says, I want to be wealthy, but your subconscious says, no, we are good people. We don't want to be greedy and shallow. So it will sabotage your attempts to build wealth because it doesn't want you to become the thing you judge.
Wow. So
Yeah.
every time I tear someone down for their success, I'm basically placing a ceiling on my own potential.
Yes.
I'm convincing my brain that success is dangerous to my social standing.
Exactly. You are reinforcing the danger of that success. If you want to stop sabotaging your own success, you have to stop judging it in others.
Okay, so we've identified the behaviors. We know how we sabotage. But to stop it, we have to go deeper. We have to look at the why. The book introduces this concept of core commitments versus core needs. This feels like the code-breaking part of the episode.
This is the decoder ring. Wiest suggests that if you cannot stop a behavior, despite consciously wanting to, you have a core commitment to it.
Give us an example, because core commitment sounds a bit abstract.
Okay, let's say you keep sabotaging your work, you get close to a promotion, and you flake. You show up late, you miss a deadline.
Right.
Consciously, you're saying, I want this job. But your core commitment might be to freedom.
Okay. So deep down, I value freedom more than the title.
Right. Your subconscious associates that promotion with a loss of freedom. Maybe you saw your parents work 80 hours a week and be miserable.
So my subconscious says Job equals prison.
It sabotages the job to honor the commitment to freedom. But here is the twist. The core commitment is usually a cover-up for a core need.
What's the need in that scenario?
If you are committed to freedom, your core need is likely autonomy. You need to feel like you are in charge of your own life.
So instead of sabotaging the job, I need to find a way to feed that need for autonomy within the job.
Exactly. This is the breakthrough. If you realize, oh, I'm not lazy, I just need autonomy, you can change your strategy. Maybe you negotiate flexible hours.
Or take ownership of a specific project.
Right, where you call the shots. If you feed the need in a healthy way, the subconscious no longer needs to sabotage the job to get its freedom.
Let's do another one. What about relationships? I feel like this is a huge area for self-sabotage.
Huge. If you sabotage relationships, you push people away when they get close, or you pick fights for no reason, your core commitment might be to safety or control.
You committed to not getting hurt.
Exactly.
And the core need.
The core need is trust. You need to trust yourself and others. But because you don't feel trust, you settle for control. You sabotage the relationship because being alone feels safer than being vulnerable.
So to fix this, I have to build trust.
You have to build trust, usually starting with trusting yourself. Trusting that if things do go wrong, you will be okay.
That is such a crucial distinction. We're trying to meet valid needs in invalid ways.
Yes. The need is always valid. The strategy is what's broken.
And part of understanding these needs is listening to our emotions. But usually we try to shut negative emotions down.
Oh, yeah. We numb them with Netflix, wine, scrolling. We run from them.
But the book argues that these emotions, these triggers, are actually messengers.
They are guides. Let's take anger. We usually think of anger as bad. We tell children, don't be angry.
Right.
But Wiest reframes anger as transformative energy.
Transformative energy, I like that.
Anger tells you a boundary has been crossed, or that you care deeply about something and you aren't acting on it. It's mobilizing. If you're angry at your situation, that's fuel.
So instead of suppressing anger, we should ask, what is this protecting? What action does this want me to take?
Precisely. Or take jealousy. This is a big one.
Yeah.
We usually feel shame when we're jealous. We think, I'm a bad person for not being happy for my friend.
Right.
But jealousy is just a map to what you actually want but are suppressing.
So if I'm jealous of my friend's travel photos.
It's not about your friend. It's your soul telling you, hey, we want to explore. We want adventure. Instead of judging the person, recognize the desire within yourself.
So jealousy is suppressed desire.
It's showing you what you want.
That totally reframes it. Instead of wallowing in envy, I should look at it and say, oh, thanks for the data point. I guess I really want to travel.
Exactly.
And resentment, that's a heavy one.
Resentment usually comes from not letting others be who they are or projecting our expectations onto them. It's often a sign that we are overgiving and expecting a return that was never promised.
That I did all this for you, why won't you do this for me?
Yeah.
Kind of feeling.
Yes. And the book calls this internal guidance system the siren.
The siren.
Yeah. It whispers first, it gives you a little nudge. Hey, this job isn't right. Hey, this relationship is off. Hey, you should write that book.
And if you ignore the whisper,
It starts to talk louder. Eventually, if you keep ignoring it, it screams. That scream manifests as anxiety, panic attacks, a crisis, or a total breakdown.
so the breakdown is just the siren finally getting your attention because you ignored the whispers for 10 years.
Exactly. The crisis is often the cure because it forces you to stop.
And that brings us to the neuroscience of change. Because even when we hear the siren, even when we know we need to change, our brains fight us.
Oh, they fight us hard.
We talked a bit about homeostasis, but let's go deeper. Why is the brain so resistant to change? It feels like a design flaw.
It feels like it, but it's a survival feature. The brain is a prediction machine. Its job is to predict what will happen next so it can keep you alive. It loves patterns. It loves the known.
And change is the unknown.
When you introduce change, you introduce unpredictability. To the primitive brain, unpredictability equals death.
So when I try to change my life, my brain basically screams, warning, we don't know what happens next, abort mission.
Yes, and it filters information to confirm what it already believes. This is confirmation bias.
Right.
If you believe you are unworthy of love, your brain will literally filter out evidence of people loving you and spotlight every tiny rejection.
It wants to be right more than it wants to be happy.
So much more. That is terrifying.
It is. We are trapped in our own feedback loops. And then there's dopamine. The book references the molecule of more here. I always thought dopamine was the reward chemical. You get the cookie, you get the dopamine.
That's the common misconception. Dopamine is not the chemical of having, it is the chemical of wanting.
The chase.
It is the chemical of the chase.
Oh, that explains a lot about online shopping.
Exactly. The rush is in the adding to cart, not the owning. Dopamine drives us to seek, to acquire, to achieve. But the moment we actually get the thing, we reach the summit, we buy the car dopamine drops.
The letdown.
We feel a letdown. This is why people self-sabotage success. They are addicted to the thrill of the chase, so they blow up their success just to have a problem to solve again.
That is twisted. We destroy our happiness just to feel the rush of trying to fix it.
For many people, yes. Peace is boring to a dopamine-addicted brain. We have to learn to shift from survival mode, which is high dopamine, high stress, to thriving mode.
Which involves what?
Different neurochemicals like serotonin and oxytocin, those are the here and now chemicals, the contentment chemicals.
And this transition from survival to thriving creates what the book calls adjustment shock.
Yes. New, good changes feel uncomfortable. You might feel anxious, weepy, or exhausted right after a major positive life change.
You move into your dream house and suddenly you're depressed.
Exactly. That's adjustment shock. It doesn't mean the change is wrong. It just means your brain is recalibrating its baseline. It's grieving the loss of the familiar, even if the familiar was bad.
So knowing all this, knowing the brain is fighting us, knowing about the thermostat, how do we actually change? Because the book busts a huge myth here, the myth of the breakthrough.
Oh, we all love the idea of the breakthrough, the burning bush, the lightning bolt, the moment everything changes forever.
Yeah.
It makes for a great movie, but it's a terrible strategy for life.
We wait for the epiphany. We sit around waiting to feel ready.
We do, but Wiest argues that real change happens in microshifts.
Microshifts, explain that.
Tiny, almost undetectable daily habit changes. She uses the analogy of the penny doubling.
Right, the old math puzzle. Would you rather have $1 million today or a penny that doubles every day for a month?
And most of us, if we're honest, want the million today. We want the result now.
Absolutely.
But if you take the penny, by day 30, you have over $5 million.
But the catch is the beginning.
Exactly. On day 5, you have 16 cents. On day 10, you have $5. You look at your friend with the $1 million and think, this isn't working, I'm failing.
And that's where we quit. We do the healthy thing for 3 days, see no result, we still have 16 cents and say, this is useless, and go back to the old way.
Exactly. But those microshifts are building a new foundation. They bypass the brain's alarm system. If you change everything overnight, your amygdala freaks out. Too much change. Danger.
But if you just change 1%,
If you change 1% a day, your brain barely notices until the new habit is formed.
stealth change. I like it.
Yeah.
So instead of, I'm going to run a marathon, it's, I'm going to put on my running shoes today.
Yes. And it's also about anti-fragility. The mind is anti-fragile. It needs resistance to grow. If you don't give your mind a worthy challenge, a project, a goal, a mountain, it will create problems.
It'll create its own drama.
It will manufacture drama just to have something to chew on.
We must choose worthy challenges so the brain doesn't fabricate useless drama. That needs to be on a sticky note on my computer.
Right.
If I don't give my brain a job, it will hire itself as a drama writer for a soap opera starring me.
Perfectly put. Boredom is a breeding ground for self-sabotage.
Okay, let's talk about navigating the feelings that come up during this process. Because we are told constantly to trust our gut.
Follow your intuition.
Right. But the book makes a really important distinction between gut instinct and fear. Because they can feel really similar.
Very similar.
If I'm scared to take a job, is that my intuition warning me? Or is it just fear of success?
This is crucial, because if you act on fear thinking it's intuition, you will sabotage yourself. You will run away from good things.
So how do we tell the difference?
Weiss just gives us a checklist.
Okay, hit us with it. How do we know it's fear?
Fear is frantic. It is loud. It rushes you. It says, do something and now, W.
It's urgent.
Very. And it is usually future-oriented. Lots of ifs. What if I fail? What if they hate me? It feels like a stop sign. It races. Your heart beats fast. Your thoughts spiral.
Okay. Frantic, loud, rushing, what if?
Yeah.
Got it. And the gut, the intuition.
Intuition is quiet. It's calm. It is present moment oriented. It doesn't scream. It just states. It feels like a knowing. It's factual. This isn't the right place for me. Or I need to speak to this person. It doesn't come with a panic attack. It comes with clarity.
Even if the news is bad.
Even if the news is bad, the feeling is calm.
God, this is so helpful. Fear screams, intuition whispers.
And fear is usually trying to prevent a specific negative outcome, whereas intuition is usually guiding you toward a general direction.
The book also has this great line, feelings are not facts.
Yes. Just because you feel scared doesn't mean you are in danger. Just because you feel lonely doesn't mean you are unlovable.
They're just feelings.
Feelings are weather. They pass. They're not the landscape. You are the sky. The feelings are the clouds passing through.
But we have to process them. Right, we can't just ignore the weather. The book talks about the water ducks analogy.
Right. Imagine your emotional processing system is like a series of ducts or pipes. Clean ducts, which are healthy thoughts and beliefs, allow the water your emotions to flow through.
Right.
If you feel sad, you cry, you process it, it moves on. But if the ducts are blocked by suppression, by judgment, by denying the feeling, the pressure builds.
And then the pipe bursts.
Exactly. The goal isn't to stop the water, the emotion. It's to keep the ducts clean so it can flow. This brings us to validation.
Validation is tricky because I think we assume it means agreeing with the feeling.
Right.
Like if I validate my irrational anxiety, am I making it real? Am I encouraging it?
No, Weiss says you don't have to agree with a feeling to validate it. Validation is just acknowledging it exists. It's saying, this sucks, and I am allowed to feel that it sucks.
Just sitting with the discomfort, not fixing it.
The fixation on fixing feelings is a form of resistance. If you're sad and you immediately try to fix it by forcing gratitude or distraction, you aren't processing it.
You're just pushing it down.
You're suppressing it. The technique is to let it exist. I am feeling sad right now. That is okay. Paradoxically, when you allow it to be there, it dissipates faster.
What you resist persists.
Always.
Okay, we're moving into the final phase here. Self-mastery. We've stopped sabotaging. We're listening to our gut. How do we actually build the new life? The book talks about releasing the past. But again, with a twist, it says you can't force yourself to let go.
Right. Trying to force yourself to let go is like trying not to think of a white elephant.
You just think about it more.
The more you say, I need to let go of my ex, the more you are thinking about your ex. The effort keeps the focus on the thing you're trying to release.
So how do we do it? Do we just wait for amnesia?
You let go by building something new. You don't stand in the ruins of the old house trying to sweep up the dust. You go build a new house next door.
I like that.
You focus on the new habit, the new relationship, the new project. Eventually, the new life becomes so engaging, so demanding of your attention that the old one just fades.
That's a relief. It's not about mentally deleting the past. It's about crowding it out with a better present.
Yes. And part of that is inner child work. Weiss suggests visualizing your younger self, the one who was hurt, the one who learned to sabotage, and becoming the parent they needed.
So you tell them.
You tell them, I've got this. It's going to be okay. You don't have to protect us anymore.
That's sweet. It's taking the steering wheel back from the scared kid inside you.
Exactly. The kid can be in the car. We love the kid, but they can't drive. They can't see over the dashboard.
Now let's talk about principles over inspiration, because I am an inspiration junkie.
Aren't we all?
I love a good motivational video. I love that 2 a.m. burst of, I'm going to change my life. But the book says inspiration is unreliable.
Inspiration is a feeling. It's fleeting. It's like the weather. Principles are like gravity. They are impersonal laws.
Give us an example.
If you eat well, that's a principle of nutrition health follows. It doesn't matter if you were inspired to eat the broccoli or if you hated every bite. The biological principle remains the same.
The broccoli works either way.
It works either way.
Yeah.
If you save money, a principle of finance wealth follows. Gravity doesn't care if you believe in it. It just works.
So when we have a life problem, we don't need a new life or a burst of inspiration. We need new principles.
Yes. If your life is chaotic, you need principles of order. If your life is lonely, you need principles of connection. You adopt the behavior, and the result follows naturally, regardless of how you feel in the moment.
That is the definition of maturity, I think. Doing the thing because it works, not because you feel like it. And finally, finding purpose. This is the big existential question. What is my purpose? We treat it like a treasure hunt.
Realist demystifies this. Purpose is not a job title. It's not, I was born to be an accountant. Purpose is the intersection of your skills, your interests, and market needs. But even deeper, she says purpose is often found in our deepest pain.
What are you willing to suffer for?
That's the question. Because everything involves some level of suffering or sacrifice. If you want to be a musician, you have to be willing to suffer the practice, the travel, the rejection. Your purpose is the thing where the struggle feels worth it.
It's the mountain you are willing to climb.
Exactly. And the result of climbing that mountain is the glow up. But she redefines that term too.
Yeah, it's not the revenge body or the Instagram flex.
No. A real glow up is when you no longer care if anyone sees it.
Wow.
It is prioritizing how you feel over how you look. It's internal peace. It's being unbothered. It's when the validation comes from inside, so you don't need to post about it to prove it happened.
That is the ultimate freedom, when you don't need the audience anymore.
Because you are the audience.
So, bringing it all home, the summit. We've moved from the valley of self-sabotage through the discomfort of change, and we're reaching the summit of self-mastery.
And when you stand on that summit, you look back. And you realize something profound. The mountain wasn't in your way. The mountain was the path.
It was a gift.
It was. It forced you to grow. It forced you to develop the muscles, the resilience, the wisdom that you now have. If the mountain hadn't been there, if you hadn't had those blocks and those fears, you wouldn't be the person you are today.
That reframes the whole struggle. It wasn't time wasted, it was training.
Exactly.
And here's the final thought I want to leave our listeners with. The book suggests that one day, this mountain will be behind you. You will conquer it. But if the mountain was you all along, who are you now that you have climbed it?
You are no longer the person who faced the mountain. You are the person who mastered it. You are the alchemist of your own life.
I love that. You are the alchemist. You took the lead of your trauma and turned it into the gold of wisdom.
And the beauty is there will be other mountains, but now you know how to climb.
So for everyone listening, here is your micro shift for today. Don't try to move the whole mountain. Just pick up one rock. Do one small thing differently today than you did yesterday. Validate one feeling. Resist one urge to procrastinate. Just one.
And tomorrow, do it again.
Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll see you on the next climb.
See you there.